Humans. Where did all the humans go? Everyone went to bed, I think. Oh no, 2 people. Is there 2 people? Lol, what? I'm Robbie Ball. G'day, you mob. How's it going? Monica Lynn. Cheers. How are you? That was a hectic 47 minutes or so. People, Jay's better room. Better is better than worse. Malcolm Ryan. How are you, Macmo? Are you working hard though? It seems a wee bit of a oxymoron of some sort, that you're on your telephone yet you're working hard. Not sure if I'm convinced. Just so everybody in the room, all 7 of you know, or one of you already knows, obviously, that good old Malcolm there, that is my older brother. Nice work, Jay. We likes a bit of that. Medicinal, I hope. No, I don't care. Passenger on. Yes, this Malcolm fella is my older brother. He's many years older than me. GRB, how are you? Alien World Aquatics, how are you? Fish Room Fever, how are you all, my friends? I'm sorry about that. Super apologetic for coming in a bit late. It's been a shambolic, shall we say? Let's say shambolic kind of morning. Derek, how are you? Bob Kayla, thank you. Always good with the encouragements for the like button. Candy Overalls, how are you, love? I hope everything's going well with your old man. Oh, pardon me. That one's for him. He does look younger. He's got that youthful exuberance that I no longer have. I lost it a long time ago. What was I saying though? Probably just hellos and stuff. Oh, that's right. The morning. Yes, hectic morning, but as any other of you folks that were hanging around in some of the other live streams this morning know, I was stuck out in the bush with a let's say a driver who I wasn't necessarily that willing to hustle on, and you know, wasn't really willing to say, quick, get me home. Oh, look out. Lucky Seahorse is here as well. Good old AWAs. Better half. Less than better half. Equal half. Halves are by definition equal. Who else did I miss in checking my mobile telephone? Jeremy Morrill. G'day, my friend. How's it going? Did I say hi to Derek? I think so. I hope so. Paul, Unfiltered Aquarist. I think I've worked out how to say it, Paul. Aquarist. Maybe it doesn't quite hang with my accent as well as it does with an American accent, but you know, I'll have a crack. We'll have a crack. Joe Coffey. How's it going? Joe Coffey is a self-professed Lions Share fan, a big fan of the Lions Share. Did you get a wrench? I probably should open it on YouTube so I can do those do those things. Yeah. Hi Chewy, welcome aboard. I didn't actually have time to set up for notifications and stuff. I just basically chucked up the StreamYard site and went live because I basically got home at 12:30 something my time, and yeah, chucked it straight up. No time for notifications. But isn't it a wonderful thing to see that you can just go instantly live and all of these fantastic humans show up? Forgot about the other night's shenanigans. Well, that makes two of us, Paul, because so have I. What happened? You might have to jog my memory as well. Probably got to stop doing that. I think LRB's got that trademarked, hasn't he? Stuff like that. GRB, I meant to question your because I didn't necessarily have 100% attention when I was watching your what were they, Empire Gudgeon video this morning, but were they Peacock Gudgeons or Empire Gudgeons? Or did you have both in that tank? Like I said, I wasn't 100% watching as I was typing about Empire Gudgeons. In Monica Lynn, I'll highlight that so people know what I'm talking about. And the longest I spent was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks out in the remote far north Queensland outback hunting pigs with some Aboriginal fellas, native gentlemen. It was good fun. Camping out, dogs, knives, no guns, just old school style. It was a good time. But yeah, you certainly get pushed to your limits if you don't have a backpack full of baked beans when you're out in the Australian bush. Lumpy Dog, thanks for popping in. When you gotta rest, you gotta rest. I know it takes a lot of effort to sling shit at people on live streams, and you do it like a champ, sir. Wrenches were being thrown. Crikey. I certainly remember, or do I? I don't even think I remember throwing wrenches around willy-nilly. I think I added Monica so she could be involved in the chat. And did I chuck a few extras on as well? Did I? It's all right. I could probably do with a few extra mods for all of these trolls that I get. So many trolls every stream. Jesse's in, everyone. Say hi to Jesse, everyone. Hi, Jesse. Jesse is HC Aqua, for those that don't know, but I reckon everyone knows that. So what's been going on? What has been going on, everyone? Rob Ball knows what it's all about. It is good fun, especially when your dogs are wearing the shirts so they can't get hurt as bad. Unlucky, Alien World. Lost a bit of water. Could have been worse. It could have been 29.5 gallons of water on the floor. Ty Hunsicker made it in. Sorry about the no notice, Ty, and everyone else who's come in late. I did not have time to pop a notification up today. Only just got home, chucked the computer on the table, click that button, bang, we're here. And potentially I would have if I didn't go on a couple of those live streams whilst I was out in the bush this morning, and had people mentioning said withdrawal symptoms and wanting a bit of a Blacky stream. I probably would have just shunned it and, played some drums, or, just sat around smoking cigarettes and being bored. So now we're all not bored. That's funny, fish room fever. There was a thing. I don't know whether it was on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. One of those silly things popped up the other day with a picture of Morgan Freeman saying, if you could have anyone other than Morgan Freeman narrate your life story, who would it be? And you know who I thought of first? Straight to Rob Bull. Straight to our Robbie Bull. One of the most radio friendly voices I have ever heard in my life, and I've apparently got one of them myself when I talk properly. So here's to Rob Bull, the finest life story narrator in Australia. Well done, Rob. The award is in the post. Maybe. Who can tell? So what's been going on? What have I missed? Been a little bit out the loop the last few days. Got me a red box monster. Gotta love a super high top shelf red box monster. Don't necessarily know what's. I can probably go. If I tilt the camera this way. I set up. Hang on. How do I get rid of Rob Bull, voiceover champion? He so is. Got myself, picked up a drum kit the other day, set it up beside a fish tank. Possibly not the best idea, because I at night time, if I want to play the drums, I tend to look into the fish tank and check out all of the life, because that fish tank has 1,000 life forms in it. Yeah, they take my attention away from practicing the drums. Oh, I can't even remember what it is. GRB. It was a BWS special, $15 for 5 litres. Righto, Paul. Thanks for dropping in. Not sure how long I'm going to hang out for. I may have to do a brief one again and get collected and go back to the bush. GRB, you are so on it. It is like a super red wine colour. Very red wine colour. Who doesn't, Monica? The drums are one of my favourite instruments to play. However, if I do play for a little bit too long, I've got a dodgy knee that lets me know that I've been playing too long, especially when I wake up the next day. But you push through. You push through and you make it what it is. Zach Sanford has made it in. Hello to you, Zach Sanford. Oh, the wind is making the hi-hats rattle. Again, anyone else who's just popped in, sorry for no notice. Very instantaneous stream today. Click, click. Sorry about the noise in the microphone. Didn't have time to set anything up. Just went bang, live, go. We're all rooting for your man, Candy. Actually, I do have a whoops, bloody scrolling chat makes me miss the plus sign. I do have one of those things, Monica. I stuck it in a drawer somewhere. I probably should try that. So potentially I should yeah, yeah. I mean I do double kick drum. So I have both my knees going, but my right knee is my worst one. So I'm gonna give that a burl. Sound advice, Monica. Thank you. I will try and find or remember where I stuck that compression thingy and give it a burl next time I want to sit there for more than 7 minutes. Now, there's a challenge, Alien World. If only I could. I can barely play either of those instruments on their own at once, let alone both together. Crikey. But I do appreciate a challenge. Get rid of that before it burns my moustache and my fingers. Too late, burnt my fingers. Oh, crikey. All of these stories about blown seals on tanks. They mustn't make silicon like they used to. Cheers for the thumbs. Cheers for the thumbs. I don't. Call me crazy, call me insane, but I don't get it, Rob. What's that one guy? Yeah, that's what you did too, Chewy, wasn't it? You did a bit of music journalism in your time. Ah, that animal. That guy's got skills. My style is not too dissimilar from animal. Just go nuts and hit everything and go while you're doing it. Seems to work for him. So why not make it work for me? Um, I suppose that's a bummer about doing a completely unprepared impromptu stream is not having anything prepared. Oh, I use that term loosely, Rob. Pardon me. Haven't even had a beer. I've got burps for days. The drummer from the Flippers only got one arm. Um, there's certainly lots of good drummers out there, isn't there? Too many to mention. And there's it's drums is like guitar nowadays. There are all these kids that are learning it off YouTube and stuff, and they're just getting these phenomenal talents at such a young age, and just doing the most amazing technical stuff before they're even in their 20s because they start so young. Because YouTube, you can watch it when you're 7. You know, before we know it, they'll all the kids watching YouTube will be emulating me and expert drinkers before they're 17. You're getting snow already. Already getting snow. Yeah, Neil Peart, very good. He was in, was he Yes? Owner of a lonely heart. Don't sing, Blacky, don't sing. Don't sing, not today. Um, Sarah's okay. We had a funeral yesterday, Monica. Thank you for asking. So it It was a massive day, massive day yesterday. Very long. The wake went for a very long time as well. So there was a lot of emotions and Rush. That's right. Yeah, Rush, not Yes. Geddy Lee's band, Rush, I believe. Crikey, I'm getting all my facts wrong today, aren't I? Yes, a massive day. It's a bit flat today, but everyone is moving on now. And I thank you for your thoughts and everyone else who's popped their words in and stuff. Um, Snowing in the States already. Didn't summer just finish? Was that Pam, Bob? Was that Pam giving some curry? It's a puff on a durry. Wait a sec. Fish room fever. Are you not? I thought you were an American guy. Are you an Australian? Or are you just copping the lingo because you're here? Chattanooga Ed. How are you, bro? Thanks for popping in. 103 in Tennessee, but only a couple of states over and it's snowing. Interesting times this weather is presenting us with. How bizarre. Just give me a tick. I've got to drop my hi-hats because the wind is making them go ch 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 ch. It's quite windy. Not a cloud in the sky. No rain forecast. But noisy noisy hi-hats. One sec. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Rob Bull. If you're going to work in those international forums, you might as well pick up some of the lingo. Pardon me. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, that was a little piece that I call "Can't Keep Time." But those double kicks, brah, 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 brah. Gotta love them. Can't stay off them. Isn't everyone, Bob? Everyone's got a little bit in them. Yeah, I said before, Bob, I'd mimic animal style. The vocals go rah, rah, or words to that effect. Oh, Aquamate. Aquamate has made it in. Everyone say hi, Josh. He's obviously on his lunch break, let's call it, where he pretends to work but accesses YouTube live streams instead. What did you just type, Fish Room Fever? The story. I need to hear the story about Bob, Fish Room Fever, and Chattanooga Ed nearly getting kicked out of a fish store. Did he say nearly? Nearly, yeah. Well, like I always say, nearly's not good enough. You should try harder. G'day. How are you? I'm okay. Do you need anything else carried out of the car? Righto, I shall do that. I'll have to write that one down tight. Right. One day perhaps. Yes, there's always room for improvement, Ed and Bob and Fisher and Fever. You can always step it up next time. I don't think he actually does the installs, Rob. I think he just does the paperwork and then hands it over to the techies. Anyway, give us a tick. I've got to just go and grab a couple of things out the car. Talk amongst yourselves. You know the drill. Oh, I'll have to I'll have to get him to teach me how, because I'm really bad at it. Generally, when I do it on my stream and I say I'm taking notes, I just pretend. Makes for good video. I'm trying to catch up here on the slander and the libel. No, hang on. It's slander, isn't it? It's in writing. I've heard of Breaking Benjamin. G'day, Chris. Multi-tank addiction. The Chris is in the house. How are you tonight? I thought it was past your bedtime. Still got work to do, eh? Righto, Lumpy Dog. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know if we'll be here much longer either, but you never know. It's a Blacky stream. Crikey, we could be here for another 4.5 hours yet. But we won't. 8 p.m. Oh, right. You're on the behind side. Hang on, what's that? West Coast? Which one's earlier? East Coast. East Coast. No, East Coast is later. West Coast is earlier. Crikey, I don't know. I'm lost. I used to have all my time zones down, but you know, as you get older, you store less. A lumpy dog called Pam old, and Pam was never seen again after she dished some dirt, I imagine. I think was I gone by then? I must have missed that bit. Right, yes, West Coast. Good to know. I'll try and remember that, but I can't guarantee it. I'm assuming you mean earliest American time, Jay. Crikey. It's got to build up and snap eventually. Oh, hopefully she's not. I mean, I encourage Candy not to do any modding duties while she's here in my joint. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, Bob. Oh, good on you, Monica. There's just not enough humans on the planet saying crikey. You and me are probably two of the only ones left. No, Chewy. The rabbit, he has gone camping on the family property. He's going to be there for the remainder of the week, I think, to return to his house on Sunday for or maybe Saturday night for the rugby league grand final. He's having a few people at his house for the rugby league grand final. I imagine that we might get a video of the shenanigans that take place at his house during the rugby league grand final. There should be more of it, more crikeying all around the place. I like it. I should get a one of those little backlit signs made up to sit on one of my fish tanks. Hashtag make crikey great again. I'm trying. I'm also trying to bring Ace back. No one says Ace anymore. That bowl game was Ace. King Shell Dweller has made it in. Someone dragged him in by the scruff of his neck against his wishes, but he's here now, and we all welcome you with open arms and widely open eyeballs. And a salute. Cheers. Cheers to you, King Shell Dweller. Say that 7 times quick with a few red wines in your guts. Michael Thornley has also made it in. How are you today, sir? Thanks for dropping in. Another Australian YouTube presenter. Watched a few of your videos the other day, Michael. Particularly fond of the snake videos myself. Cheers, indeed. I took a leaf out of your book, Michael Thornley, and bought myself a box of red wine. Gotta love a box of red wine, don't you? Hey, hey. What haven't you set up, Bob? A wildlife foundation? GoFundMe. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. With the name Candy Overalls in the title, I reckon you'd score quite a few dollars. Wait, is he? Is King Shelldweller an Aussie? Can King Shelldweller confirm? Or how do we not know? We're really struggling to find Australian YouTubers for the second Aquamate series of Fish Tubers Down Under. So, if indeed King Shelldweller is an Australian, you need to hit us up, son. No, I didn't. Oh, 808 tank, right. Yeah, well, we're familiar with 808. Right. No, I didn't say that, Rob. I don't think. I say a lot of things that I can't remember, though. And I always wondered 808 or KSD, if you took the numbers 808 from the famous drum machine. It's a long way to come, Monica. The best way to go is just bring a backpack of your essentials and just start fresh. Oh, well, going to pop this one up. Best fish store in Australia. Potentially, I've never been to, because the best ones are going to be little independent ones. And oh yeah, sorry, Derek, I skipped over that before. I did, and I'm on a, what do the politicians call it? A budget crisis, let's say. And that turkey don't run cheap down here in Australia. And was potentially taking way too much of my money. If I need to save up a little bit of coin, I need to back off on the turkey. And as everyone knows, I get pretty thirsty. Whoops. And dribbly, apparently. Right, Robbie Bull. You've confused. 808 is Hawaii area code. I'm still confused, but clearly you're not into drum machines. Sometimes, Derek, you just got to appropriate your budgets effectively. And, everything works. Everything still has the same effect eventually. Danny! Glad you could make it. And what the hell are you still doing up? Shouldn't you be in bed? Arr, arr. How is Caleb today? Crikey, that arr did some strange things in the back of my neck. Ah, right. Area code. Slight typo, I guess. Confused the heck out of me. 808's also an awesome drum machine from the late 80s, early 90s. It was the first drum machine that allowed people to go doom in songs and stuff, I think. I could be wrong. It was the first one I ever did a doom on in any of my music. Oh, that R really did mess the back of my neck. Or potentially 2 cigarettes in such a short time frame. Geek speak for Bob, as in 808 Kayla. Oh shit. Always helps to turn the power on when you've got your laptop plugged in. There we go. That should see me through, I hope, if it charges faster than it uses. But anyway, Alien World, back to your question, because it is still on the screen reminding me that I started to answer your question, but actually didn't get very far, pardon me, into it. Um, there's, we do have some of your big box stores in Australia that certainly you wouldn't call the best fish store in Australia. So that's potentially a quest to partake of, is to find what might be the best fish store in Australia. I'm guessing that potentially you would find it in either Melbourne or Sydney. Some of the ones that Aquamate goes to are pretty decent, and there is a couple of decent ones within 2 to 3 hours of me. But yeah, I'm yet to find it. I'm yet to confirm the best fish store in Australia. Oh, those Mazda 808s were pretty cool too. Oh, Anna's in. Hi, Anna. Or has Anna always been here and I already said hi? No, Anna just got here. Hello, Anna. It's lovely to see you in again. And that's a shop, Rob Bull, not like a public aquarium where you go, oh, I got him. Did I keep him? But I'll let him go. Damn it. Free fish food gone. Well, I've done a couple of them. The last one I went to, though, I didn't. I only went there. I was in Brisbane, the capital city of Queensland. How long ago? Maybe 6 weeks ago. And I went to one of my old favourite stores up there, which is a very good store, but not very big. It's quite small, but always quality fish and quality products. But because I wasn't actually expecting to go to a fish shop, I didn't take a camera or anything with me. So I didn't do any filming in there. Just bought a betta and a couple of glass catfish for the drive home. Oh, more of this, you Americans and your bloody fantasy of honey blue eyes. Shame, 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 shame. But potentially, someone's got to sneak them into the country and get a breeding program going over there. Because there's a lot of people over there that want them. And don't ignore the Pacific blue eyes, which are same family, slightly different species. The Pacific blue eyes are local to my area. They certainly can be found in the creeks around here, and they certainly engage in the same breeding behaviours that your honey blue eyes do, and they've got the same sort of fin designs. Spectacular fish to watch and enjoy. And yeah, I don't really see too many differences. The biggest difference is the honey blue eyes have a little bit more yellow through their body, whereas the Pacific blue eyes have more of a plain colorless body, but the colors in their fins. They sure are, Chris. Those gambusia are actually quite pathetic at killing mosquitoes, are they not? I'm sure most people could agree on that. That gambusia, like the cane toad, is one of the biggest ecological mistakes that humans have impacted on certain areas around the world. All over it, Rob. I reckon if you got that sorted, Rob, you could probably also get people to pay for your airfares over there if they knew you were bringing some honey blue eyes over. Pam would probably go halves with MTA and fly you over there as long as you split the shipment with them. Depression panties, yeah, yeah, big big nana pants with an extra layer of cotton, maybe two extra layers of cotton, and then just remember to walk with your knees a little bit further apart. Zen Ginger has also made it in. By crikey, all of these new folks coming in, it's just wonderful to see. And again, I don't know how many times I've said it this stream, but I'll say it again. I do apologize for no notification or anything. Just got home, chucked the computer up, bang, let's go live. That's how we do it on a Wednesday in Australia. Bang, just do it. Insert Shia LaBeouf meme here. The Honey Blue Eyes might not like a frisking, but I've heard Robbie Bull is a little bit partial to a frisking. Mosquito fish are invasive everywhere, Chewy. We've got them in every single river and creek system in Australia because back in the 1920s, might have even been earlier, it might have been late 1800s. Anna hitting hard with the slams. Oh, nice one. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, it was a long time ago, and it was happening all around the world with the Gambusia that they were shipping them worldwide to try and control mosquitoes. And by crikey, didn't that one backfire? Backfired like nothing else. But they do. Sorry, Anna. I may not have gone through that since you've been in, but yeah, I didn't. I didn't post a beforehand thing, a schedule for later, because by the time I got home, it was already 12:30 my time, which is half an hour after I normally start. So I just chucked it on and went straight into live mode. Good feeder fish though, if you can get a bunch of them, because normally wherever you find your gambusia or mosquito fish, for anyone who doesn't know, when I say gambusia, I mean mosquito fish. Wherever you find one, you generally find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. So as long as you've got a tank, you can chuck them in for a few days and observe them and make sure they've got no fungal diseases or bacterial infections or any of that other filth that you don't want getting into your good fish. They make good food. And I guess another good thing about them, being that they are so prolific around the world, is that they're an incredibly hardy fish and they are not necessarily prone to getting diseases or suffering parasites or anything like that. So pretty much you're almost guaranteed that if you catch gambusia from a healthy water system, your fish are going to be pretty well ready to eat. Ready to eat just how we like it. Does that, Chewy, does that mean that the long-nosed dace from Banff is now gone, Ski? Or are there still pockets of it in existence? Because yeah, that's the worst thing about these introduced species is when they actually outcompete a native one and then they're gone forever. Cody Sun. How are you? What's I'm intrigued by Cody Sun's little, what do you call it, avatar-y thing. Is that some kind of labyrinth fish? It's very pretty. Nice blues. Do tell Cody. Codison. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, I'm thrown. I'm thinking some kind of labyrinth, but I'm probably not right. Welcome to What Is It with Dr. Black. Actually, I wrote a kids song called What Is It? For I was working on a project. It was a kids DVD we were going to release with a couple of friends of mine. One was an animator, another one was a musician, and we were doing all these little segments for this DVD, and one of them was called What Is It? Wrote a nice little What Is It theme song, but we never got around to finishing that project, unfortunately. That could have been my bank. It is pretty scary to do it, Monica. Um, However, there is a good method you can use, but you've got to stay on top of harvesting them. What you want to do is just don't leave yourself an open bucket. You want to get yourself, say, a nice tall one of those what are they, 5 gallon buckets, I think, in the States. I think they're 5 gallon, maybe a little bit bigger than a 5 gallon bucket. They're about 2 foot tall. You get yourself one with the lid on it and drill a hole approximately, let's say, this big, 1.5 to 2 inches in the side, about maybe 80 to 90% of the way up the bucket, and then you 3/4 fill it with water. So your only access to the bucket is through the little hole in the side. Then you can put your lid on. The bucket stays in a dark area, and your mosquitoes will breed in there prolifically more than an open top bucket, because they do like the darkness. But like I said, you do need to stay on top of harvesting the babies. Elsewise, you're probably going to get a little bit itchy. And if they, I mean, what I like to do is harvest as many as I can, and whatever I can't feed, I'll put them in like a Ziploc bag and freeze them. Not that I've done that for a while. At the moment, I've just got a couple of buckets that I get my mosquitoes in, and I'll harvest as many as I can, and then I'll dump the water if I can't get any more out of it, just in case, because I don't want rogue mosquitoes getting around the joint. Oh, did I miss Cody's answer to what the fish was? And did Chewy said those daces went extinct in the 70s? Poop. Not good. Pygmy sunfish. Oh, it's a sunfish, right? There's quite a few cool species of sunfish in the States, isn't there? All American natives. And bluegill's a sunfish family too, isn't it? I think. With your GRB. Plenty around here too. It's like they're just falling out of the sky. Um, One of my sons collected. I mean, he's got a cage in his backyard with 7 nice big ones, and then he found one. Let's say maybe 2 months ago. Maybe no, not that long ago. Maybe 6 weeks ago, 5 6 weeks ago. It doesn't matter. Almost 2 feet long, Biggest blue tongue I'd ever seen in my life. DP, DPK, how you going, man? Awesome that you found your way here. I did leave a trail of breadcrumbs for you to follow, and you successfully navigated the trail. Well done. Um, huge blue tongue. Nearly, like I said, almost probably was 2 feet long, maybe an inch shy of 2 feet long. Biggest thing I've ever seen. Probably a massive big female ready to lay eggs. Um, whoops. Sawyer bobtail or shingleback, as we call them here, and I think Robbie Bull said that as well. They're called shinglebacks down his way as well, is what I'm trying to say. I've got words. I know words. Who's going? Who's leaving? I'm missing stuff. James is leaving. Crikey. So I'm just lost the chat. Candy's jealous of blue tongues, I think. DPK is spreading the love through the room. Fish room fever. I agree. It's a bitch of a job. Good on you for grabbing it by the horns and taking it up. Any anyone who hasn't checked out GRB yet, pretty recent addition to the Down Under Fish Tubers team. Have a look at his stuff. No harm in saying hi to GRB. Blue tongue is a skink moniker, a large Australian lizard, very popular in the American reptile keeping scene. Their species is Tiliqua, Tiliqua, I think from memory. And there's quite a few different types of them, and there's also a bunch of different Tiliquas, even GRB's bobtail that he's talking about is in the Tiliqua family. Not tequila, Tiliqua. Almost an anagram of tequila. Actually, I think it might be an anagram of tequila, but it's Tiliqua instead of tequila. Does tequila have one L or twos? I used to spell once upon a time. Yeah, Rob. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos where I do like intros out against my red brick wall, but yeah, so many skinks hang out on that wall. C23, my brother. How are you, man? How's things been going? How's your dad traveling? Excuse me. Excuse me for that. All over the place again. One L in tequila. Right, yeah, well, then it's an anagram. Just swap your QU and your L around, and you've got the blue tongue family's scientific species name. Species name? Family name. That's good to hear, man. Actually, I'm going to take a second. Let me do these ones. Um, DPK. I don't know how backwards you think Australia is. Pardon me. We got Zambuca down here. We've got Ouzo. We've got all of those aniseed based drinks. And you can keep them, my friend. No. No Zambuca for me. I've been there. I've done them. I don't think there's ever been an occasion where I've drunk Zambuca where it hasn't made its way back out of my stomach quite rapidly. No Zambuca or Ouzo for me. No licorice flavors. I don't mind a nice tasty licorice, but something about those licorice based beverages that are hideous. Robbie Ball raises an interesting question, and Bob Kaler footnotes said question, and I'm going to say agree with you guys. I haven't seen Joe Munoz lately, and I haven't seen Shelby Ray lately as well. I hope they're okay. Joe Munoz, Shelby Ray Lane, if you're watching, take care. I hope you're doing okay. Um, you know, touch base. Let us know that you're okay. Or don't. If it's none of our business, we're okay. But just know we're thinking of yous. Bit of goon, Denny. Denny? Beverage of choice. Goon. You got goon in the States. DPK? You got goon? Have you tried goon? Oh, easy, Bob. Bob's triggering me. Bob's trying to trigger me. More. What a toss up. Would I do Southern Comfort over what are we talking about? Zambuca. Ooh. I wonder if I mixed Southern Comfort and Zambuca together, how hideously vomitous I would get. Ugh, ugh. That stuff's ridiculous. Potentially, Anna, that is potentially a thing that happens. I'm assuming, Denny, that you're replying to my question about goon. Oh, Chris hasn't heard of goon either. Um, but yeah, did you know, GRB? You probably do know this because you're an Australian as well. But the goon bag was actually an Australian invention. Proud Australian invention. Chris, I'm right with you there. That is my drink of choice. Anyone who hangs around in my live streams or in my videos knows that I am a wild turkey fanatic, and my standard drink is turkey soda, wild turkey with soda water. But I'm on the red goon today. Tastes like home. Your average goal. How are you, love? Um, I think you guys who have not heard of goon, you might call it boxed wine. I think the Seppos call it boxed wine, but we call it goon here. There's this fantastic drinking game that well, Alive is Good Girl. Alive is good. I'm very well, thank you. I hope that your just being alive picks up into more than just being alive. Um, cask wine, yeah. I think I've only ever heard it called boxed wines by Americans, but they might call it cask wine as well. Um, but yeah, Robbie Bull, GRB, and Michael Thornley might be able to. They've probably played a good old game called Clothesline Goon. Eh? Anyone familiar with the game called Clothesline Goon? Eh? Eh? It's almost an Australian rite of passage to play Clothesline Goon. Righto, Alien World and Seahorse. Thanks for popping in. Enjoyed having you here. um, I shall indulge all of our friends here in the rules. I don't know if there's really rules. In the method of playing Clothesline Goon. Um, you can't really do it with a full goon bag, so you've got to drink a little bit out of your goonie bag first, so you can have a corner to peg it upon your clothesline. Um, Americans have clotheslines, right? Hills hoists. So potentially it is one of the finest games on the planet that involves not one, but two Australian inventions: the Goonie bag and the Hills hoist, which is a clothesline with arms, strings or ropes or wires that you pin your clothes to. So, Prawnalot, I'm just talking about your favourite game, Clothesline Goon. Sir Prawnalot was only just telling me a couple of days ago that his favourite game ever is Clothesline Goon. So basically, what you do, you can play with two people, you can play with three people, you can play with as many people as you can circle around said clothesline, and you peg your goonie bag up to the clothesline, and then it basically becomes a oh, I never thought of that, Sir Prawn a lot. More than one goon sack. Your age defies your experience, sir. Most certainly. But basically, it's like a big game of spin the bottle. You spin the clothesline, whoever the goonie sack ends up nearest to, I guess, pushes the little tab on the goonie thing and drinks, drinks, drinks. Hey, Haley. How are you, Dom? You've just missed out my fantastic description of the game Clothesline Goon. I hope you actually heard some of it because I reckon you'd really enjoy that game. I may have to a Goonie bag. It's got two O's in one end. One sec. Right. This is for everyone who's super intrigued in this conversation. This is a box of Goon, right? Box of Goon. We're just deep in the education here today, people. Pardon me. Dragon. That did stick, didn't it? Oh my god. Oh really? Outstanding. I really liked that when I bought these pants for on a lot that they had the matching shirts in a separate spot, and they had these guys labelled as flannelette pants and then flannelette shirts, but they didn't have them together as flannelette pajamas. I was intrigued by that, but you know, marketing, marketing is impressive. I've got a diploma in marketing, never to be used again. Um, correct. That's what we're up to, Chris. Is removing the bag. Oh, crikey! I've got more left in there than I expected. Derek, this is a Goonie bag. Bag full of wine. So you peg it up to your clothesline by the top corner. Down here, you've got your little nozzle, and as long as you don't mind sharing a bit of spit with your friends, you all suck the goon out of this until it's gone, and then the game's over. Monica, we just did it. There it is. Also, oh crikey, it's easy to get out of the box, but it's not so easy to get back in there. Also, once you've emptied your Goonie bag, has that been asked twice now? Where will I hide my cooler bar? Oh no, GRB, you asked it twice. Why do I have to hide it? I'm not ashamed. A little bit, but um, Sir Pronalot, I'm down, super down for a goon party. That's right. I'm just getting onto that GRB. That once your Goonie bag's empty, you can inflate it, and it has so many uses. Well, I can think of two. Anyway, see you, Haley. Get back to work. Um, two uses I can think of is yes, football, kick around the park once you're a bit pissy, and yeah, got nothing else to do. You finished your goon. Let's get busy and kick the goon sack around, or makes a great pillow for once you've had too much goon and you need to fall asleep. Yeah, I think I think that was a newer name for it, Sir Prawn a lot, because when I was a younger, much younger goon drinker, I don't even think Wheel of Fortune was on our TV screens yet. But then as soon as the Wheel became a show in Australia as well, then I do believe lots of people were calling it Goon of Fortune. Oh, that's a good point too. You can deflate it and put it over your head like tinfoil, and those aliens won't find you. By all means, have a look at Monica's bristle nose and her spider wood on her Instagram. Oh, all of the goon sack suggestions are coming through now. Good idea. Especially, I mean, if you're drinking your goon at the beach or down at the river, you want to be safe. You don't want to jump into the river super drunk and not be able to swim your way out. So it's always good to have a flotation device. Actually, I don't know why they like you buy a kiddie's pool toy in the shop, and they've got warnings written all over them all day long. You know, not a rescue device or not a flotation device. Use under constant. Why don't they have that on the Goonie sacks? This is not a surf sea rescue device. It certainly has been used as floaties in the past. Oh, that worm at the bottom of the tequila. That's a banger. Tastes good. Tastes good. I'm with you, Chris. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of licorice, but a little bit of licorice goes a long way. And when you're pouring liquid licorice down your neck, that's too far. That's too much licorice. Too much. What are you playing, Chattanooga Egg? Are you going to play Clothesline Goon on your own this weekend, Ed? I recommend it. No, always eat the worm, Monica. Always, always eat the worm. If you've got to arm wrestle someone to be the one who gets to eat the worm, you arm wrestle them and you beat them. You need that worm. Lol, Michael Thornley being a little bit counterintuitive for your career path. That's all right, Michael. No one watches this. You're safe here. Us 27 or so people, there's no higher ups from Ambulance Victoria here. Frozen fruit's a good idea, DPK, but I reckon they'd just slow me down. You're talking about the worm, DPK? Ice pack, yes, good. All these extra uses for the Goonie sack. That's a great idea as well, Danny. Nice, Robbie Bull. Robbie Bull's got the breeding going on. Bow, chicka, bam, bam. Only one dislike? That's just terrible. I expect at least a good 3 or 4. Can't please everyone, though. And, whoever disliked is probably just sad and confused. And then just, they want someone to say hi. Sorry about that. But after the last effort of burning them, I don't think I can do that on camera anymore. It seemed to rile too many people up. I've just got to pluck them out as they come. Pardon me. I'm gonna have to just. I haven't even got it open on YouTube, but I might as well open it on YouTube so I can dislike it myself. I'm gonna jump on the dislike bandwagon. Oh, hang on, he's got muted. 3 dislikes now. Woo! And then I went to 2. They all mean the same, apparently. According to the YouTube algorithm, dislikes and likes are the same thing. They're all interactions, and that's all that YouTube cares about. Maybe I should get out of my face. I should ask for dislikes instead of likes and see how that goes. Absinthe used to be good back in the day, in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Not that I'm aware of, Chewy. As in humans putting antibiotics in the actual waterways or into our drinkable water supply. I'm intrigued. I am intrigued. Jess Shrimp Granny has beverages. Cheers to you, Jess. Welcome aboard. Oh, thanks, Chris. But I just consider that anyone clicking the dislike button actually really likes it. They're just a little confused within themselves. Perhaps they don't know up from down or something like that. There's so many disorders. Exactly. When I was a wee lad, absinthe was real. Serpronolite. Now they just use the instead of putting too many Actually, they don't even put the wormwood in anymore, do they? Unless you get someone who's actually either go to France and go to little backwater towns and get the people that are making it properly. They might still have the wormwood in it. Get a little bit of a psychedelic thing going on as well. Ah, yeah, DPK. We get that stuff down here. I do actually enjoy a fireball shot or two. Is that the Robbie Bull? Are you going? Yeah, right. Sorry, I read your further comment. The antibiotics, because we got so many humans on antibiotics, we're building up the concentrations of said things in our waterways. That's what you guys are getting to. Yeah, that is quite intriguing. Um, shoot me a link to my email, Chewy. I'd like to read about that. drblack66@gmail.com. Um, I'm very, very interested in that kind of stuff. Um, Most definitely a. Yeah, well, I'm DPK saying, yeah, I think a lot of that stuff is like it serves its purpose in the human body, but when it's passed through, it's still basically in its original form. Still, like we use um, such a minimal amount in what we can take out of it and pass on still most of it later. Candy, that's pretty full on the stuff you're going through there, love. Only 40 to 45% with three stents in. Have the stents gone in um, close to the heart or at arteries around the body, further away from the heart? Hmm. Oh, can I? Hang on. I've got to go over there to access it, Chewy. Shit, shit. Crikey, when you flick from StreamYard back to YouTube, you get a little bit dizzy with the chat catching up to where you're up to. Silent stream. Have I gone silent, Jesse? Here we go. I shall copy that into a new tab and have a bit of a watch of that later. In it. Pause back here. I agree with Michael. My dad had some put in a few years ago, and he's been a shit ton better since they went in. I've always been confused about this top chat stuff because mine always defaults to live chat, no matter whether I'm in someone else's stream on my own. Pardon me. Just lucky, I guess. Oh, hang on. Wow. That's full on candy. I find it. I suppose I don't. I was going to say I find it difficult to believe that you're actually here hanging with us, but I suppose you need some kind of outlet, some kind of something different to deal with, because that hospital stuff really gets you down, takes a toll. But I suppose you've had your fair share, haven't you, love? Super feeling for you. I hope you're on top of it, staying positive. We've all got your back. We're all sending our loves and our, what do you call them? Hopes, wishes, good vibes. Wait, what's going on with Jess? What have you done, Jess? Didn't get to do. And oh, were you going to do like a Vegemite thing at your Aquashella Bizzo? Lucky I didn't visit Monica. You'd have two new ones now. I didn't even think to push that, Jess, that if you got your act together and got all the Vegemite, you could have done so many people at Aqua Thingy. You could have had so many people doing the Vegemite challenge. You could have had videos for weeks. So many views down the tubes. Gone. Need a little bit of yeah, a little bit of candy time, candy. Oh, we're DPK. We're very heavily regulated in Australia as to runoff. That's what we call it down here, runoff from farming and stuff. And farmers can be massively, heavily fined if any of their shit gets out into the waterways and flow out into the ocean. So there's a lot of heavy control on what they can use and how they can use it. And if they're using certain stuff, they must have contingency plans and cleanliness plans, all of that protective stuff in place. And if stuff goes wrong, then they're subject to massive, heavy fines. But still, it goes on. It goes on. The water gets polluted. And, I guess some of that stuff is really hard to pin down to particular places. But when you've only got one massive factory farm up a river system, and that river system is chockers with, chockers with fertilizers and whatnot, it's quite easy to point the finger at the culprit. Big D. Big D made it, everyone. I told you he'd make it. Wasn't I, hey? It was only 10 minutes ago, Big D. I was telling everyone. Big D will be here, I'm sure. I am sure Big D will make it. Wrong comment, but that'll do. I like it when Chattanooga Ed says cool. His accent's fantastic. I mean, that's what I meant. I'm sure he'd wake up again because we know that Big D is the, what did I call him before? The champion of power nappers, something like that. Chris, you can remember MTA Chris. What did I call him on your stream? Champion of power nappers or something. Anyone who was there, you'll remember. Next time, drive, Jess. It's not too far. She's doing fairly well, thank you, Jess. Not the best. We funeral was yesterday. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Funeral was yesterday. It was a massive day. Very, very, very big day. Long day. Very long day. It was a long funeral and a long wake. But it was lovely to catch up with family, meet a lot of the family because I've not met a lot of the family and stuff. But yeah, it's not the best time, but some level of closure begins, and the mourning, I guess, turns into grieving and uh, enables, I guess, people to get back to their day-to-day living, get some closure on what has happened, and move on. Sarah's sister did, Anna. She was 46. It was very traumatic, not good. But yeah, stuff happens and we learn from it. We move on, but she won't be forgotten. Indeed, way too young. And thank you, everyone. Oh, harsh. I don't know if I've ever teared up on live streams before, but thank you. Thank you for the firsts. We're all in it together. And I really appreciate everyone's kind words. It goes a long way. So what else? How can we how do we lighten the mood now? Thanks to Prawnalot and everyone else. We likes love hearts. Love hearts are choice. Whoops. All right, Denny. Thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate you being here. It is getting late. Oh, Ginger Graves, when did you sneak in? Didn't see you pop in. I'm not here for your commute home today. Oh, look at that one. I think I said earlier on someone else's live stream that you must have finished work early today because you're normally commuting home when I'm on. Nice to get an early day off. I mean, an early finish from work. that is DPK. It is always hard in smaller groups because there's no or there's minimal diffusion, you know, of humans to share the grief and the mourning with. Pardon me. I mean, it's probably a optical illusion or a little bit of um, you know, a fallacy that with more people you can spread the grief out more. But I suppose every individual feels grief and suffers grief their own way. Um, but I suppose whether there's 3 people sharing the grief or 50 people sharing the grief, grief is still grief, and everyone has to go through it their own way, and it takes its toll, no matter what the situation is. Once you've experienced it, you experience it, and it never gets easier. No matter no matter what, grief is grace. If it's grief is grace, grief is nasty. It gets us all, but it's part of life, and we move through. We move through it. We learn from it, and we become stronger as humans. So, we haven't talked much fish. Anyone got any fish questions that I might be able to answer? Probably won't be able to answer them. I'll have a go. What about questions about Australia? People love asking questions about Australia. Yeah, let's ask Jess what fish she got. What I might do, you did see a cow in a reflection. Well, you saw a bull and a cow. We have some English whites in the paddock beside me. They're a very cute cow. Actually, well, the bull, I don't know if you can see the bull. Hang on. No, it's not very good because he's in the shadow of the macadamia tree. English whites are a very cute breed because they're white all over, but they have black ears, a black nose, and they have black socks. I'm not sure about species of cares. I'm not even 100% sure how deeply involved Australia is on the cares program, Chewy. That is also something I probably should look into to expand my knowledge on such things because it's an interest of mine. Um, I'm intrigued about that. Google will have to be our friend there. C23, there are lots of species of eucalypts. Actually, interesting story. Let's do an interesting story about eucalypts, being that eucalypts are the only food of koalas. And there's been a spate recently of um, local areas of koala populations being moved into different areas. And those koalas that have grown up eating certain species of eucalypt get moved into a new area where their previous species does not exist. And they do not have the appropriate gut biome to digest this new species of eucalypt. So they're getting all of these uprooted koalas thrown into new areas that can't eat properly because they're being subjected to a eucalypt species that their stomach cannot digest. So now they're talking about doing fecal transplants into these koalas from existing koalas in, that are already eating those species of eucalypt. Um, Little capsules of existing koala poo make the new koalas eat them so that their gut biome develops. be able to digest the and new eucalypt species that they're exposed to. Um, what do you mean? That was a brief eucalypt story, but there's. I'm guessing there'd be at least 100 species of eucalypt. Probably, I might be overshooting the mark. There'd be between 50 and 100 species of eucalypt in Australia. Jesse, what is it you're referring to? Any wilds? Well, we're not playing Uno. I don't have any wild cards. Oh, damn it. He was just trying to chew leaves out the macadamia tree, and just as I moved, he put his head down. He's a very good looking little bull. Um, Monica Lynn, I like to do pumpkin, sweet potato. My Gibiceps in this tank, the much bigger one, I like to do a bit of carrot. Carrot's a little bit more woody and fibrous. I don't, my bristle nose, not necessarily fans of the carrot. I don't think they get as much out of it. But the bigger ones, the woody, the bigger Gibiceps and common plecos and stuff, they'll smash the carrot because it's a little bit woodier. Also, your other L species that like more wood in their diet, they'll smash carrot like there's no next Thursday. Which fish in Australia do I wish it was legal to keep? Um, I can keep most Australian fish. Oh, do you mean international fish that I could keep? Um, Probably the biggest ones that I'm worried about are some of the Parachromis cichlids, your jaguars, your dovii, motaguensis. Some of the Parachromis species are on what's called a grey list, where they're being investigated as to whether they will whether they should be banned in the country. Crikey, 700 species of eucalypt. Well, I was a little bit out. So yeah, there's a little bit of a concern for me that some of the Parachromis that I want to keep. I've got a Maniguans in the tank behind me. Betters are certainly legal here. I have one just around the corner. I have a TDS meter. I regularly test my TDS. My tap water it sits around 90 to 110 TDS. My rainwater that I use for my fish tanks is between 40 and 50 TDS. Smashing out the questions now. They do, Jess, and they certainly do work. Science is proving that gut biome is one of the most important parts of our human function. And they're also finding out things about the communication along the neural network from the gut biome. The stuff in your stomach actually communicates with your brain. Susan for SLC has made it in. I told you, everyone. I told you she'd be here. I agree, Monica. But unfortunately, humans got to live somewhere too. They got to at least they're not just moving in and leaving them for dead. You know, they're having a crack at keeping them safe, allowing them to develop. Yeah, DPK. All of the channers banned in Australia as well. They jumped on that one pretty quick as soon as it was seen to be a problem in Florida. I'm not 100% sure. I've never seen anyone with a snakehead or any of the other channa species in Australia. I think they hit that nail right on the head pretty quick when they saw how vigorous and takey ovary the channas, the snakeheads, are. Duncan the Drunken Discus Fish. How are you, Pabs? I may have missed him already. I'm trying to scroll down the chat and catch up again. It's really refreshing, Pabs, to see that you've changed your name back. I didn't really take to the one you changed to as humorous as it was. Definitely super on a lot. Get yourself some desert gobies. Those things are choice. That's what we do here, Jess. I talk poop and people guess fish. That's the games we play. Monica, I often find that it's good to either bake or boil your pumpkin for a little bit for your smaller placos, and they'll just dismantle it in hours. No worries at all. If you put it in raw, it does tend to be a little bit woody. So, if you go for raw pumpkin, you want to be doing it for your species that really require a lot more wood and that kind of stuff in their diet. But for things like your bristlenose, definitely try and blanch it or boil it out a little bit. Even just chuck it in the microwave for a little minute first, and then they'll smash out the cooked section on the outside, and they'll slowly work their way through the raw bit in not too much time as well. And sweet potato as well. Same thing with sweet potato. It's a little bit woody, so blanch it or microwave it, boil it for a little while first. My go back in my channel. I've got videos of when I had a MFT of bristlenose. They used to get so much pumpkin and sweet potato, and they would just destroy it in minutes. What are you feeding your bristlenose? What veggies? I've got a very massive list of veggies that mine just absolutely destroy. 300 TDS from your tap. That'll be good for your shrimp. They'd love it. Lol, Jesse. Yeah, I often make comments about my anus ruling my life at certain hours of the morning. Joe Coffey's out, is he? I didn't see him saying goodbye, but someone's saying goodbye to him. Try and catch up on the chat, and you miss so much. Channas are. Chewy's probably already answered it, but they're massive range. I think your main snakeheads that people are worried about are from Southeast Asia, but Chewy may be more on point there. I know there is channas in Africa, but that's a bit brutal, mate. Leave her alone. That bull's getting a bit bully out there. Broad beans as well. If you get broad beans from your grocer, they have a really rough aril on the seed. Good night, Susan. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, Duncan, funny you should say that, Pabs. We were only speaking about that earlier. We're all wondering about Joe Munoz's presence. No one's seen him around. Might have to shoot him an email and see what's going on, if he's okay and whatnot. I suppose we all get to those points where we just need a little bit of time away. And what plecos are you trying to feed, Anna? Just bristlenose, or you got some other elves as well? Because I find that my bristlenose won't really touch carrot, but my big Gibbiceps back here, he'll smash the carrot, no worries. But green beans, zucchini, definitely. Cucumber, I steer away from just because I don't like it. So I don't want to subject my fish to foods that I don't like. Spinach, definitely. Um, but yeah, my favourites are sweet potato, pumpkin, zucchini are my go-tos for bristlenose and my other plecos, and my broad beans as well. Like I was saying, your broad bean itself has a pretty thick casing on the bean itself, so I blanch them and then I bust them out of the seed case and then drop them in, and they're devoured in no time. Whatever you do, don't feed your fish grapes. Keep your grapes in your own guts, and don't feed your dog grapes either. Grapes are poisonous to dogs. This is an interesting point that GRB and Rob Bull are discussing. Has anyone seen Joe Munoz since he did the Vegemite challenge? I mean, he didn't react very well. He did a couple of the old what? Your clown pleco would definitely get onto your carrot, because they'll certainly, they're more interested in a lot more wood in their diet than the bristlenose, even though the bristlenose are considered to be a woody one. Righto, Chris. Thanks for stopping in, brother. We shall talk to you soon. Behave yourself, by the way. And yeah, well, GRB, you and your silver beet leaf is basically just a large form of spinach. So righto, Pabs, I shall do that. Sorry, it took me a while to read that. Every time I read Pabs's comments, I try and read them in Pabs's accent in my mind, because he's got one of my favorite accents on YouTube. I love that Northern Geordie accent. I think grapes are bad for everyone, Ed, even humans. Don't eat too many grapes, people. Oh, where did you see him, Anna? Anna's the only one who's seen Joe Munoz lately. Righto, Jesse. Take care, man. Thanks for stopping in. As always, awesome to have you here, brother. Eat well, my friend. That's, I mean, this certainly highlights what we were saying before about the fish fam being here for everyone. Um, you know, someone's disappeared for a little while, and all right, Candy. Much love to you too, darling. Say hi to your man for us. Wish him all the best. If you like, there's a thing I like to do to people that are recovering from hospital, I like to get my 2 fingers and stick them in their nostril and give their nose a little bit of a wiggle. If you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Just, I mean, not long enough to like stop him breathing or anything, just long enough for him to go. Something like that. All right, Pabs, you too. Take care. Almost everything has arsenic in it. Thank you. I would appreciate if you did that, Candy. I mean, what harm can there be? He's been through enough. A little bit of light physical slapstick comedy can't go too wrong. And, maybe tomorrow morning, do the same to Caleb. Maybe wake him up that way. Fingers in the nose. Why not? Righto. Well, I may have did I skip over anyone's questions that I half-assedly answered? Should I get anyone to ask any more questions, or should we just call it quits here? Nearly 2 hours. I'm quite surprised because I was coming on for 30 minutes again, and here we are 2 hours later, still talking shit, rabbiting on. It's what we do, isn't it? Isn't it, eh? It's what we do. Oh, I don't even have to walk to the fridge anymore. Thanks to Clothesline Goon demonstrations. Oh, hello. Taps the wrong way around, mate. Dunsky. Don't quit yet, you quitter. Well, if I am not to quit just yet, I will have to go and wrestle a crocodile meantime. What else can you do? Breadcrumbs up the nose, DPK, or just in the bed itself? All right, yeah, I can't hold on any longer. I'm getting old. The pelvic floor muscles aren't what they used to be. I'll wrestle a crocodile and then I'll come back and we'll work out where we're going. Talk amongst yourselves. You know the drill. Well, I have to walk past it to go out to the crocodile area. So it's very hard not to hit it when I walk past it. Ba bam. Exactly. Exactly. Uh, Snowball pleckers. I don't even think anyone's got them down here yet. Wouldn't mind some starlights. Peppermints we got, but I haven't seen starlights, even though they just look like peppermints. Um, all of it was like when I first got into plecos about 15 years ago. There was, you had your choice of about three different varieties down here. Now you've got, you know, maybe a dozen varieties that you see on the reg. It's just so hard to get massive amounts of pleco strains down here. They just must be too difficult to import in or not worth the investment to get good amounts. But I'm sure plenty of you American humans have your snowballs. Very pretty plaque. Yeah, if you want to wait, why don't we know about this Australian YouTuber Chewy? Potentially you could email me a link to the channel or something. I don't even think I've seen a female Australian YouTuber. Because if she's in the right part of the country, Sir Prawnalot would definitely rack up some of that stock full show. Wow, auctions as well. Browbeaten. There's a different word for that in the human world, Robbie Bull. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, Chewy. We must know who this Australian YouTuber is. We're trying to, between myself and Aquamate, we're trying to put together a second series of the Down Under fish tubers. And so um, the sooner we get information about more Australian YouTubers, the better. Because, we're just saying we run short of about a dozen. I think we've got about a dozen on a list of Australian fish tubers, and some of them just aren't necessarily just focused on fish. They might do different things as well. Yeah, Jay, I'd have a crack at Wild Better. I'm not sure if because the hang on, probably should put that up instead of not answering that question. Um, the I guess we're very similar down here with the better markets all around the world. Is that it's flooded with your heavily bred ones for their colours and patterns. Um, and you don't. I guess it's like a really specialist field to get into the wild caught ones because most people get into your betters because they want the colours and the patterns and the fancy fins and whatnot. Um, so yeah, you just don't see the wild caught stuff because I guess mostly, like I said, it's because there's not that many buyers there for your wild caught stuff. Um, Most of the people buying betters are, let's face it, rookies who just want a pretty little fancy fish um, and don't necessarily and not necessarily into the what do you call it? The fanciness, the difficulty, the challenge of dealing with wild caught fish that may not be as awesome looking as your mutated, fancier ones. So yeah, I've not seen any um, wild caught bedders available. Brisbane, bloody only a few minutes away from my house, a few stones throws away. So yeah, I've not seen any wild caught bedders, but I'd definitely have a crack. I don't care about whether they're super pretty or not. Oh, this is interesting. Thanks heaps for putting us onto it, Chewy. You are a wealth of knowledge, sir. Why can't you have a lungfish, Robbie Ball? Um, Discounted rates on livefish.com.au at the moment. You can get yourself a lungfish for $1,500. Australian lungfish, not an African. Also, if you go fishing in the North Pine Dam just north of Brisbane, you can catch them like there's no next Thursday. It's apparently quite illegal to cart them away from the dam, but you know, who's watching? They're everywhere. There's quite a few of them in that lake. Why can't you have a bashir? I didn't know bashirs were illegal down here. I saw one for sale in a Brisbane fish shop the other week. Well, that fish shop that I was talking about earlier. Is that just um, is that just Victoria, or is it? Yeah, so I was going to say maybe not Queensland, but that fish store that I was in also had some plants that are definitely illegal in New South Wales, and let's just say that I know a guy in New South Wales who's got them growing in his bathtub out the back now. Shh. Hmm. So yeah, they I suppose it's not really up to the people in a Brisbane fish store, especially to ask. You're not taking this south of the border, are you? But yeah, they definitely had bashirs up there in a tank. I mistook some little tiny bashirs for rope fish, but I stood corrected quite rapidly. Because apparently rope fish are illegal in Australia too. We're, we're so sheltered. We're such a nanny state with what we can and can't have. The hell are you guys doing? There's like a full cow festival going on over here. Must be the only patch of shade they can find. Whoops. Whoops. Don't cover the camera, Blacky, you goose. Oh, sleepy cow. Whoops. What have I done? What have I done? suppose what humans are responsible. I think I may have gained up. Did I gain up my camera? Who can tell? Who can tell? Lol. They might have had a little bit too much. Lockie. I think it might be at this time of day. It is potentially the only piece of shade in their paddock. So they've all decided to come and have a lie down or a rest in the shade. There's another bit over at the very far fence line, but it's potentially not offering them food like the food my mum just took out to them. Did I? Yes, I did copy that link. There's that butcher bird back that everyone was loving last week. Getting a feed. We might. Oh, totally with you there, GRB. No, mine are just the standard tandanus. The black eel tails, I'm pretty sure, are endemic to much further south than me. I'm not 100% certain. Oh, hang on. You're maybe my scientific name might be a little bit dated. Let me, instead of shutting down the stream, let me occupy a few more minutes whilst I Google on a separate device. No, did that already this morning. Neosilurus. Well, now I'm confused because they certainly look the same, but potentially maybe they've been reclassified since I originally learned the taxonomic name for the eel tail. Tandanus catfish. Yeah, that's because if you look up Tandanus catfish, they are Tandanus, like I said. But then the other, Neosilurus look identical. A little bit chunkier, perhaps. Food for thought. I'm going to leave those tabs open so I can look into that and try and find out the differences. I tried that, Monica. I got a better story though. One day, and myself and Sarah were out here and we were playing guitars and singing, and one of the butcher birds was sitting over there on the clothesline, and he just started singing along with us. So we were playing for a good 10-15 minutes while the butcher bird was over there just whistling and singing along. But yeah, all of the cows, bar one, are laying on the grass now, so I don't want to disturb their little afternoon siesta. But yeah, animals certainly do respond to music, even if it's not the best music. Righto, Derek. Good luck at the dentist tomorrow. Hope he pulls the right one out. They do get big, Rob. They do get big. But best case scenario, you if you don't use chemicals in your tanks like I do not, you just eat it. Apparently they taste alright if you can. I mean, mine are in clean water. They say when you catch a catfish out of a creek or something, you've got to put it in clean water for a couple of days. Ibis versus cow animal battles. Yeah, you got to put it in some fresh water for a couple of days to rinse its system through. But once you get the skin off, they're supposed to be pretty good eating. Yeah, if mine get too big, certainly got some dams available to me that I can put them in. I'd have a tendency to believe, though, that they are like the salmon tail catfish, that once they get to a particular size, they start seeking brackish water. So if you don't predict that right and get on top of it, then they just cark it beforehand anyway. That's what always happened to me with salmon tail catfish. They'd cark it before they got to brackish size because they didn't get their brackish water, but I didn't know that then. Righto, Monica. Well, that's probably a good sign. We got some more buys. It's getting late over there for all you guys, except for your West Coast humans. I've got a couple of things that I need to go and do, so let's wrap it up and call it quits, eh? It's been fun, unexpected, oh, nearly 2.5 hours, 2 hours 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that GRB. I've still got the tab opened on my tablet, so I can investigate them and see what they're all about, see if they're available in the hobby. But they certainly do look exactly the same as mine. So potentially the two that I've got were actually wild caught from a creek near here. So who knows if the black ones are endemic to this area? Potentially that's what I've got, and not the Tandennis, but I believe that the Tandennis are all over the country. So it's highly likely that that's what I have. So anyway, yes, everybody, let's pull the pin. I'm not going to go back up through the list. I'll just say thank you very much, everyone, for popping in. It was certainly unexpected to have as many people through as I did without any notification or any of that nonsense. And yeah, for a 35 to 40-minute stream, I think over 2 hours was highly unexpected, but not really. We all know what I'm like. I can't stop talking. So yeah, everyone, thanks again. I think I've already said thanks 17 times, so I'll try and only say thanks another 4 or 5 times before I actually click the button. And look after yourselves, look after your fish, look after each other. And if there's someone in here who you haven't seen their channel before, go and have a look. Go and have a look, drop them some love, and let's keep expanding this fish fam. Righto, everyone. Have a good night. And I'll see you when I'm looking at yous.